Hey guys, I'm going to try to keep it brief. This is a really tough time slot right before lunch, and I know I appreciate you guys rolling right into this. In any event, my name is Ken Bartz. I'm the CVO, Chief Visionary Officer, and founder of Monster Lead Group, actually. We are a full-service mortgage marketing firm. My start really came from where you guys are from. I was started in the mortgage business in 1993, started my own company in 97, built it to $1 billion a year in production and sold it in 2003. I've been doing marketing, consulting, and marketing for the mortgage industry since 2008. And really what I'm going to talk about today is going to echo a lot of the things you guys have already heard, just from a lead generation standpoint. All right? So who's hungry? Everybody? Right? So it's the all-new unique burger, right? And what is a unique burger, guys? Besides my way of pandering to your hunger to get you to pay attention to me? All right? It's kind of a way of looking at lead generation in a different light, right? So a lot of what you guys have heard here today really is focused on the things that Barry said about, honestly, about being unique, making yourself different than the other loan officers out there or the other people that are in this business, making yourself more than a salesperson, right? So, but before I tell you what the unique burger is, I'm going to tell you what it is not, okay? It is not this. When you shout, "I'm unique," in a crowd of people shouting the exact same thing, guess what? You're not, right? You all sound the same. And so this is about how do you make yourself different in a world where this is happening every day, right? In your lead generation efforts, when you go, whether it's consumer direct or retail, the realtors are hearing the same things, right? The consumers are getting, we do mail collection, so we drive about 40 to 60,000 warm telephone calls a month through direct mail. And we have direct mail collection facilities all over the country. The average person in the space receives about 3 or 4 messages a week. If you look at them, they're all ostensibly the same. They may lay out a little bit different, but they're all about the same. So what do you do? Let's talk about this. The MIT School of Management found that customers rarely buy a brand because it offers a unique feature or benefit, right? Rather, they usually buy the product that they perceive as offering the best overall combination of category benefits, or if they really see no material difference, right? The truth of the matter is, in the mortgage space, we don't have a lot of differentiation in products, right? So they simply buy the cheapest or the first thing they see or remember. And what I want to point out there, guys, is they simply buy the cheapest, but the most important part of that is the first they see or remember. All right? So what does that mean to you guys? That means you want to be first, right? You want to be remembered. The things that Barry was talking about is about being remembered, right? It's about being different. And if you can be first, right, you can ultimately drive yourself that unique point home, okay? And that's really what being unique is about, is having something different to say than the crowd of people that are shouting things at the consumers every day, right? And whether your consumer is a referral source or a home buyer or a potential refinance transaction, you have to set yourself apart these days. We really are under siege in this business. Like I said, my heart is with you guys. I was a broker. That's how I started in this business. Started my own brokerage in a few states and was lucky enough to build it. You guys have a very different set of challenges these days because you guys, whether you know it or not, and I think Barry did a great job of kind of pointing it out, technology can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And it really depends upon what you do with it. So always be unique with your opportunities. So I keep saying this word, unique, right? And I think that I want to make sure that everybody understands this, right? So what does unique really mean? The unique burger, I did this in this way just to kind of give you something to remember. First off, it's identifying a problem, a need, or a goal, right? It is being the first to actually communicate that need or goal to those potential consumers. And then offering them the solution, right? So first, identify the problem. How do we identify the problems? I think every person that's spoke today has shown you how to identify some problems, right? So data is a way to identifying problems, right? And the idea is that how do you identify a problem before somebody knows they have a problem or need is really the key to success over the next 5 years in this industry. Okay? It's a pretty easy picture. What does this person need? Right? All right. Don't be this guy, right? Don't fight the need, right? Don't with product dumping or just dumping benefits on people. So be the first, right? Who here remembers the second person to climb Mount Everest? Anybody? We all know who climbed it first, right? Hillary. But nobody remembers the second guy. So be first, right? Because we already know what Sloan said, right? MIT, pretty smart people. They said they tend to go with the cheapest, the first, or the one they remember, right? And if you can be all three, which actually everybody in this room has the opportunity to be all three of those things to their clients. Brokers have some unique advantages in this space. We deal with a lot of people from brokers all the way up to very large lenders, and I can tell you that you guys do have an advantage. It's just a matter of whether you understand that advantage and take advantage of it. All right, offer the solution. You guys remember the problem? What was the solution to that problem? So offer the solution, right? Don't give somebody something they don't need or they don't have a problem, right? Offer them the proper solution. It's much easier. Change the dynamic, all right? This is not being unique. This is how most lead generation goes. You're fighting with other brokers. You're fighting with the big boys, right? If you buy leads, LendingTree, any of that stuff, guess what? If you don't know this, Quicken buys it all. Every single lead, guys. So you're in this tug of war. And if you feel this, do you know what the client feels or the borrower feels or the potential referral source feels? They feel this, right? Everybody in their face. And that's why so few of those actually close initially. It's because it's just they're inundated with communication and it's not really the appropriate kind of communication. All right, so the unique burger, guys, identify a problem, be first, offer a solution. That sounds easy, but how do you do it, right? So some of the things that you can do is identify a problem. You need to use data in a more intelligent way. If you want to predict the future, just look to the past, right? And that's kind of what Barry was echoing today too, right? Look over 43 years. You can pretty much predict the future by looking at the past. You can predict consumer behavioral patterns based on their previous histories, right? So get smarter about what you're doing, right? Dive deeper into data. Data is not a flat thing anymore. You have to be three-dimensional in how you look at people. You have to look at, if you're doing refinance transactions, their property characteristics, right? But they're also their personal demographics, and their history. If you're talking about, a potential borrower who's going to buy a home, understanding their history is also a big piece in understanding that. They move a lot, right? What is better, somebody who is renting a very small condo, one-bedroom condo, and has a baby? Does that person have a need? They need to move, right? Whether it's renting a bigger place or buying a place, that's the person you want to talk to. You want to be there first and tell them that you understand their issues and that you have a solution for those, right? And you can use that information that Barry was talking about. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of what's her name? Naja was talking about how to get that person qualified. Right? So, be first means be the first person to correctly communicate their need or problem and have that, and then offer the solution. That kind of speaks for itself, guys. Right? It's really important for me to get this finished so that we could get Alex in here today, because one of the things you guys are up against, like Barry said, is technology. And so you can either embrace it and use it to your advantage, or you can ignore it, right? The Dunning-Kruger effect, right, which is not knowing what you don't know and just continuing to go in that direction. Or you can embrace it and use it to your advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, bring Alex up. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Sure. We'll do this.
So we'll hop right into this. The next segment is sponsored by Sales Boomerang, and I'm going to get your name right. Alex Kusishin. Close enough. He actually told me don't even try it, but I had to. So everybody, Alex.
Thank you. You know, I was going to climb up there before Ken went up there because nobody was up there the whole time, and I was going to make a joke that said I'm going to stand behind a podium and speak, but you wouldn't see me because I'm so short. But since he did it, I'm not going to do it right now. How's everybody doing? Everybody hungry now that he put the best-looking burger on screen? Yeah? Before I get started, let me do one thing. I don't know if anyone said this yet, but I want to thank Anthony for putting this together and his team, everybody in his team. Let's give him a round of applause. Beautiful job, beautiful job. So, when this presentation was put together, Anthony said, send over what you're going to name this presentation. And I named it this: keep your competitors' dirty little hands off your customers. I did it on purpose because it was supposed to grab you. We were supposed to look back and see nothing but heads waiting for me to speak. But they all went for a break and never came back. That's going to be their loss. So, before I jump into this, let me introduce myself. My name is Alex Kutsishin. Good pronunciation, by the way. I am the co-founder, CEO, and chief ROI booster at Sales Boomerang. We're a little but mighty company that was launched in 2016. We went beta in February of 2017, and then went full live in July of 2017. And what we decided to do is launch this very interesting new category in this beautiful space called the mortgage industry, and it's called borrower intelligence. We're going to talk about that a little bit today, okay? But first, I want to teach you how to keep your competitors' dirty little hands off of your customers. But before I do that, I want to do something very special. Is Barry here? All right, I was going to call him out on something. Not too bad, but I want to bust one of the biggest myths in the mortgage industry. I know it's the biggest myth in the mortgage, or at least one of them, because since 2016, when I started dabbling in this, I must have heard this 1,000 times. I can almost bet 99.9% of you in here have either said this or have been told this. As a matter of fact, Barry spoke about this today a little bit. You guys ready? The biggest myth. The biggest myth. There it is. Be a consultant or a trusted advisor to your customers. Ooh, it's going to be hard to follow after Barry spoke and said, you guys need to be trusted advisors to your customers. And I want to make sure you guys understand something, okay? Giving good advice and good information is different than being a consultant or a trusted advisor, okay? It is different. The person that said this probably meant well, right? They probably meant well because they wanted to help people. But little did they know, and everyone started buying into this concept, little did they know that they started to derail an entire industry by putting this pressure on you. Do you want to know what I think about this concept? This, you need to be a consultant, you need to be an advisor? Here's what I think. I'm not going to do the math for you. I'm not going to do the math, but that is not chocolate ice cream, okay? I'm just saying. This is chocolate yogurt. That's exactly right. Here's why I think. Now let me take you down a path. Let's walk down this path. Why shouldn't you be a consultant or a trusted advisor? There's real specific reasons. Let's go through this together. This is a consultant. This guy right here with his beautiful smile and nice glasses, he's a consultant. Okay, what does a consultant say? What do they sound like? Hey, I'm your consultant, financial advisor, maybe business advisor of some sort. Look, I'm available to you 24/7. All right, let's schedule a weekly, monthly, quarterly call so I can help you with your current issues. I want to be there for you as often as I possibly can. I am your blah, 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 blah. You can't live without me. Let me ask you a question. Is there something you could talk to your borrowers about every week, every month, every quarter? Why do you need to have the weight of this concept on your shoulders? We're going to take one brick out, right? Everybody agrees? You can't help somebody every single week, every single month, every single quarter. Yes? Yes, just checking if you're listening. Let me keep going. Let me keep digging in, because this is just one concept. Let's just keep digging in. Let's see what else we got. Let's define consultant. Remember, who's heard in the last 5 years to be a consultant or advisor? Everybody's hands go up. To wake you guys up. Put your hands up. Come on. That's awesome. Thank you. Listen, power of being upfront and talking, right? A person who provides expert advice. What's that underlined word? Somebody say it for me real loud.
Professionally.
Professionally. Which means what? You get paid to give that advice. You're not a consultant or an advisor, right? So take another brick off your shoulders. That big backpack full of bricks, take them off. Ken, can you grab me this bag right there? Right there. Yeah, this one. Yeah. That's not the bag you should be wearing of a consultant. You should be wearing a bag that says this. It says the same thing. Whoa. It says the same thing as this. No borrower left behind. We're going to talk about why you want this bag, which, by the way, 2 of you are walking around with it. It's cool. Okay. So another reason why you're not a consultant. I'm going to keep driving this home a little bit more, just a little bit more. Consulting, right? Consulting, doing something. Engaged in business in the business of giving expert advice to people working in a professional or technical field, a consulting engineer. The business of giving expert advice to other professionals, typically in the financial and business matter space, right? You guys are like, come on, stop talking about this. We're not consultants. I want you to take that backpack off, and I want you to understand something. Doesn't mean you shouldn't treat your customers well. Everything Barry said is great. Everything Ken was talking about is great. Give great advice, okay? Support, give information. But don't force yourself with the pressure of being a consultant. A consultant has up to 10 customers. There are people in this room that do 10 loans a month, 20 loans a month. There's people in this room who have hundreds of borrowers. There's no way you can be a consultant to all of them. But you can consult them when it's time. You can give them advice when it's time. So, the big question on everybody's mind, I can see all the thought bubbles. If we're not consultants, and we're not sitting around saying this, am I right? Anybody saying this? You guys have nothing to do? Yeah. What are we? You're not this guy. I hope you're all sitting for this. Check. You need to be a mechanic. Now, hold on a second. I know right now you're thinking, what a great guy Anthony was to bring this nice, funny guy on stage, and he made us all laugh, but now he wants us to be mechanics? I'm not saying get your hands greasy and dirty and smell like car fumes. I'm not saying that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I want to drive a different message home. Be a mechanic. I'm about to prove to you why it's so important for this industry to become mechanics and not consultants. Check this out. This is a real map. That little smiley face, that's my house. I'm not even kidding. That is my house. That is where I live. You see this little yellow arrow? That is my mechanic. True story. All these other red dots, those are other mechanics. Let me drive this message home. In total, 18 mechanics within a 10-mile radius of my home. And yet, every time I go get an oil change from my mechanic, he assumes I'm coming back to him for the oil change. Not only does he assume, he goes so far as to be so confident, bordering cocky, to redesign the interior of my car and tells me when I'm coming back. I don't understand the cockiness. Hold on. Why would I drive past 18 other mechanics and come back to him? He just says, this is when we're doing your next oil change. This is when we're doing your next oil change. 5,000 miles. I'll see you then. I'm driving past all these mechanics. I'm just going to keep going. We need to be mechanics. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? You need to be mechanics, not consultants. Hey, when your customer is around you or it's time to talk to somebody, consult, advise, be great, be trusted. But don't force yourself to be a trusted advisor consultant. Forcing information on people just because you've been brainwashed to. Now listen, that's a big word to say, brainwashed, or a couple words. But don't do that. Be a mechanic. So, if we're not this guy, and we're this guy, I want you guys to consider something. Consider being able to put one of these on your borrowers. Imagine that for just a second. Just for a second, right? You need to put a next mortgage due or next mortgage service sticker on your borrowers. What if it looks something like this? Just entertain this for just a second. What if you did a deal, you just funded a loan, let's say it's an FHA borrower, and you say, look, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, really enjoyed working with you. Now, let's talk about when we're going to see you next. The next time we're doing your loan. When you have 90% LTV, we're doing your loan. You list your home for sale, we're doing your loan. You go out looking for a mortgage, we're doing your loan. Your FICO score goes up, I'm refining you. Right? You have a significant life event? I'm doing your loan. Why can't we say, you know what's being said right now? Really enjoyed working with you. I hope you come back for another loan. I hope. The crazy thing is, you know they're going to get a loan. You guys put them in your CRMs and drip email on them forever. So you know they're going to come back at some point, right? Like drip, 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 drip. You like that? So I'm telling you right now, become mechanics. Embody this, okay? But how can you become mechanics without tools and resources? Now, Barry, Ken, who spoke? Nadja. I believe she spoke about some technology. Technology is very, very important. So how can we make this happen, okay? You guys have seen me walking around. I get a lot of glances and winks and, oh, that's cool. Can I get that? I'm wearing a T-shirt that says, no borrower left behind. We trademarked this in November of 2017. No borrower left behind. But this, just like the backpack you were wearing with being a consultant, is way too big for one company to carry. This is for you guys. We trademarked it for the industry. I want you to think about this. If you can be a mechanic and you can put a sticker on your borrowers that says, I'm doing your loan blank time, and embody the thought of no borrower left behind, then all we need to do is find a way to power to make this happen, okay? This is your database. Right now, I'm going to tell you about what Sales Boomerang does. About to tell you what borrower intelligence really means. The best way to display that is by showing you your database. I want you guys to understand something. Your database is not a bunch of ones and zeros and yellow folders or whatever color they are on your CRM. They're actual human beings. This is your database. Can you hear what they're saying? Nope. This is what it sounds like right now. I'm going to email this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this, da, 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 da. I'm emailing all these people. But your database is talking. And what we've created is a listening device. Every single day, your database says something to you. Every single day, it compounds. There's something happening in your database. Now, if you had put that sticker of Next Mortgage Service sticker on them, like a mechanic, then when this popped up on your screen, when you heard something, you can act. And your borrowers are expecting you to act. Just like I'm expected to come back at 5,000 miles, drive past every single mechanic that I see, and go right to him. That's the idea. How can we listen to our database? How can we know, hey, your house is, somebody just listed their home for sale. I got equity. I got a significant life event. I'm shopping for a mortgage. My credit just got better. Sales Boomerang listens to your entire database and tells you every day what's going on. Every single day. Then you can take some of the things from MBS Highway, right? And you can deliver some of those things to your clients. You can be consultants, advisors at that point. You can take what Ken was talking about. Be very unique, right? Unique means what? Unique means you are the first person talking to them. I'm not saying you're unique because you got the craziest color hair and you do some kind of backflip every time you do a deal. That's unique too, but that's a different kind of unique. Unique is you're there first. You're showing them something they didn't know. How many people do you think know what their equity is in their home? Be the first. Be the first one. And guess what? You don't have to forcefully sell your customers. Hey, remember when we did your deal, we said we're going to call you back when you have equity in your home? This is that time. Now look, you have options. Do you have to do something now? Will your house fall apart if you don't? No. But you have options. By the way, whoever wants to sell to millennials in the future, right? Everyone? I saw everyone do one of these things. I'm shorts for those that see like this. Everyone, right? What are millennials? I'm going to give you an example of what a millennial is. Perfect example. You guys ever read those books where you choose your own adventure? Yeah? That's a millennial. Everybody thinks millennials don't want to talk to people, but that's not true. They just want to choose their own adventure. My dad did that way. I'm not doing it that way. Unless it's presented as an option to them. If they choose their own adventure, then they say, I made that decision. Nobody told me what to do. I made it. When you have borrower intelligence, you're able to make these things happen, right? You're able to put those stickers, mechanic stickers, on your borrowers. So, in less than a year, okay, we went into beta in February 2017, launched fully in July of 2017, and I think after the customer from this week, we'll be at 35 lenders. We've discovered $4.4 billion in missed loan volume. Why? Because they weren't listening. Our clients weren't listening. Nobody was listening to their database. They were just reacting and hoping, I hope I get to do your next loan. I hope I get to do your next loan. What do you mean you refied 3 months ago? What? Who's heard that one before? Everybody's hands go up, right? So, we've discovered this much, and it hurts. Anytime we present this to a customer that say, look how much you've lost, it hurts. I mean, we literally call them, and I tell them like I tell you guys, I hope you're sitting for this one. Because that hurts when you see that. As a company, when you see $185 million from your own database that left somewhere in the past 12 months, you're going crazy. Then we give you the listening devices. And when we give you the listening devices, in less than a year, we've helped our clients recover $150 million in what otherwise would have been missed loans. They would have missed them. Are they batting 1,000? No, but guess what? Every time there's a pitch, they step up to the plate. They're not sitting in the dugout. They get to take a chance to earn the business every single time. Be a mechanic, right? Expect the next loan. Don't hope for the next loan. How's the hoping thing working out? We're always chasing. I believe, all right, this is my vision. I believe there's going to be a lender and borrower relationship. One lender, one borrower. Hey, lender, I need a loan. We don't do that loan, but let me introduce you to somebody that does. Great. If I need something to, I need to change my tires, rotate my tires. Let me call another mechanic real quick. No, I'm calling my mechanic. I'm going to see if he can do it. So, I'll wrap up with this. Be a mechanic. Embody the idea.